Oh no, I misclicked, and I think now your guy's volume is gonna be super loud. But whatever, let's go.
No.
Woohoo!
I am so loud. God's voice bearing down on you. Ugh.
Show me what you got.
But we
Volume
are
levels
live.
are normal.
There's one every year.
So summary.
Yes. 1 second.
I'm watching this back. Hold on.
Eli's sitting at the table with everybody.
Trying to speed
Eli
run
puts
3
his
hours.
elbows on the table. He puts his, head on his hands. And he's like, so basically, we have nothing concrete.
Yeah, that's where we left off. Usually I take notes at the end of session. I think I was really tired at the end of last session, so I didn't, and then forgot that I didn't. So I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened.
I'll do my summary of what happened last week.
Yeah.
Sure.
I tried to be a
Take it away.
detective for about 2 hours, and instead, what ended up happening was me slowly doing an interview with someone that is very clearly psychotic, seeing dragons, dead people, and stealing from their own home to put stuff into their vault. I'm not sure if they're actually crazy or they have something called dragon sickness or dragon flu. One or the other. It works. And then, because I couldn't leave the thing alone, we ended up spending like 40 gold on a dinner on the ritzy part of town, only to then come to the conclusion of, hey, we should not rob the place, but yes, infiltrate it and go check on the vault. But I'm a policeman, so I don't want to say that I want to do that. Wink, wink. Please help me out, party. That was about it.
And nobody helped.
About. I mean, yeah, you guys started at Wyrmbait house. And he first explained some things about your wild magic to you, Z, including speculating that maybe it's gotten more chaotic because of whatever happened that day you were talking about. Or a really big magic presence somewhere else, but he said that was probably silly. And while debriefing more information on this psychotic lord, the Bori makes an offhand comment to Z to make sure your family's not murdered, which upsets Z a lot. And he asks for some fresh air and leaves. In the meantime, the rest of the party showing up at his house and introductions being made to Bori, and them being caught up on a lot of the information alongside Gira and Alba, putting some other things together that Z wasn't necessarily able to. And at the same time, Z went to the Sea Tower to speak with a lady of the Flaming Fist Mercenary Company who said she'll try to look into speaking with the people in charge to see if they've heard anything, get back to you next day when you returned. And from there, you guys met back up with Bori and then left to the Lord's house. They said you couldn't come in at first. All that stuff happened, and we ended as you guys regrouped at the Rose with Eli. And you all debriefed together everything that you had learned that very long day between interrogating Aravax Fox Traveler and going to Lord Staunton, meeting Bori, and you started to make plans about what to do in the next day. And I don't really remember what exactly you made plans for. There was mention of the Hot Bottom Sisters and infiltrating
Yeah,
Manor.
it was to check with the hot bottom systems to see if anybody had already cased the estate, and maybe they knew where the vault was to make our life easier, that kind of thing. Well, Grigori, not Grigori, fucking, I'll be okay. Gira's life easier.
Too many
Getting confused
G's.
between the two rangers, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, that's why I started the Wednesday session not in a Russian accent like I usually do. No, shit, wait, not Ranger.
Whoops. I hate when that happens.
But yeah, that was the plan, was to go check with Hot bottom, see if they had any information for us.
And as far as I'm aware, from there you all went to bed.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure did.
If I'm not mistaken, we spent near 100 gold on one night of partying.
Including buying clothes earlier that day.
Mhm.
Yeah, I forgot we did that.
That was a long day.
Shopping in Baldur's
It was
Gate.
a long day, wasn't it? Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your 4th day in Baldur's Gate as the party.
Sorry, I just remembered that we spent 5 sessions in one day for the Monday group.
Yep.
So then it's morning now.
It is morning.
Okay.
I assume Eli, unless it stopped, is going back to the High House of Wonders.
Sure is. Ask Rakadon.
Mhm.
Yep. I don't think anybody's gonna be awake to stop him. So
Sure, I would. He only sleeps 4 hours.
yo, 4-hour buddies, let's go.
Yeah, Colleen doesn't sleep that much either.
But you do need to long rest and not trance. Then I mean, yeah, unless Kira stops Eli, then Eli heads out in the morning, and the rest of you wake up later in the day and have the day to yourselves in Baldur's Gate. With just to like put it into perspective, you have a speculated 5 days until the cultists show up, based on what Erevax Fox Traveler told you.
Well. Any other business needed to be done until then? Because it's gonna be a long few days.
Aside from researching the whole dragon fever thing going on with I'm blanking out. Staunton? Yeah, Lord Staunton.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Beltagar Staunton.
What's his name again?
Baltigar
Yeah,
stuff.
I can give you his token if you want it on the thing, just to feel.
It would
Yeah.
help. Yes.
Where is he located?
That's the guy's house that we
and-
were just at.
Is he a friend
Oh.
or a foe?
I would say
Don't know yet.
Neutral.
for now, I would say a foe.
For now, yeah.
He's neutral until we break into his house, and then we
And
become
then
his
he'll
foe
hate us.
Yeah.
if he finds us.
I mean, we're planning on breaking into his house, so I think it's okay to call him.
It's like, all right,
There
we
you go.
declare war on him, but we're not letting him know.
If only that
Never
was
know what happened.
If only that was an option in Civilization games.
Right.
There you go.
So secret war.
Thank you.
Yeah, just warmongering penalties. It's fine.
What are they gonna do? Attack you?
They have to know that we're at war with them.
So.
So I think we said we're going to talk to some friends of yours. Well, friends of Kira's.
Yeah.
We would talk afterwards.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm not going there.
Who?
I was gonna say I don't have any friends.
Yeah, who's going? Last time most of you went, only Kira went inside.
Where are we going to?
Hot
Hot bottom
sisters.
girls.
Oh,
Yes. Basically, who's going?
Pascal thought.
It just makes me think of Queen. I don't know why
Yeah,
every single
same.
time you say it.
Fat bottom girls, yeah.
Yeah. Sure, I'll go. I'm not sure that they'll like me, but whatever.
I don't see much point in me going if I'm just going to be stood outside the whole time.
I
So I
figured I'd come inside.
think pardon?
But you guys can come inside this time. It was just I wasn't sure the reception I was gonna get, so I didn't want to bring you guys into the situation that I wasn't sure about.
You know, that's fair.
There was also some stuff I wanted to do today.
Okay.
Do
that's
it.
fine.
I shall.
Do it, you won't.
Don't get in too much trouble.
I'll try.
I might do some side stuff while we're out and about, but whatever, I might as well join.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just me and Galene then to the hot bottoms.
Let's go.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting up the party.
You
We
guys
would
are
never do that.
exceptionally good at it.
I already did it. I did it before anybody except for Gira was awake.
Eli's like, I did it before, it was cool.
I split up before anybody else. I'm better than all of you.
What a trendsetter.
You follow in my
Oh.
footsteps.
Look, give me a couple levels and I'll build a replacement for you.
Hell yeah. It's like mirror image. But real.
Cool. Galene and Gira are heading to the other side of the outer city to speak with the hot bottoms. What's Haskell doing?
I mean, he'll just chill out at the safe house.
With the rose.
Yeah,
The
man.
At the safe house, not at the
Ah.
inn?
Did we give it back to the guy?
Then-
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, he'll
So if
just
you
chill out at the
chill
inn.
there, then you'd be like, why did you back?
Nah, he'll chill out at the inn.
Cool. What about Z?
I guess I'll stick around with my lizard pal, and try not to profusely sweat as I just stare at them and they slowly lick their lips, because that's what happens every time that we go out for drinks. At least.
Listen, he hasn't had tiefling before.
God, no, that's even worse. Like, must not blink.
They smell slightly of egg. Just slightly.
Slightly.
They smell like that egg salad that you left out during the summer picnic. It's slightly still
Ew.
edible.
They smell
Ew.
like okay egg salad, but then when they exercise and their BO comes out, they smell like bad potato.
God,
Yeah.
no.
I'm gonna keep this in mind when Z's interacting with NPCs.
No.
Fuck, I could eat some potato salad right now. God damn it. Even fuck, egg salad. That's what I meant. You know what I meant. Fuck. Now I want egg salad too. Egg salad with potato salad. Fuck.
Potato and egg salad.
Be good.
And Alba, you mentioned you had some things you wanted to do.
Yeah. So Alba, first off, is going to do something that she had intended to do from the beginning, but things came up, which is go to visit the other gone structure in the city, the is it the Hall of Wonders? House is the
Yes.
church, right?
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
the church.
Yeah.
And the museum.
Yes. She's going to go to the museum. Going to spend a few hours in the museum being a nerd. And then
Cool.
after that, she's going to try and find some people and see if she can spunish some ideas for magical items off of them.
Cool. And Gira and Galene. Galene, you mentioned wanting to make some personal stops. Would you guys rather do that on the way there or the way back? So I assume it'd be in the city.
Probably on the way back. On the way there, I'll ask Gira about if he knows any since he's kind of grew up here and maybe hasn't been here in a long time, but growing up, if he was familiar with any other Tritons that roamed the land?
Not that I can speak of. I was here a long time ago. Like I didn't keep track perfectly, but I think it was like 70, 80 years or 60, somewhere around there years in the forest. So it's anybody that I know has probably moved on at this point.
When you say 70, 80 years, do you mean like before we all kind of came together, it was the last 70 or 80 years?
Yeah, so I grew up in Boulder's Gate
Right.
until the age of like 21, 22, and then I left. And I was in the forest, I think, for like 50, 60 years, and then I trained with my compatriots for the past, like, I don't know, 4 or 5, I think, something like that.
Okay, well, that doesn't help. I mean, it does help, but it doesn't help.
We could ask the hot bottoms.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask them, but I mean, I figured you'd probably have some knowledge. It's not like we blend in or anything, so.
I wasn't in Boulder's Gate except to steal from the rich at the time, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then there's going to be awkward silence after that.
Yeah.
You walk in silence around the city of Baldur's Gate. Yeah, the two of you would eventually make it all the way around to the outer city area of Baldur's Gate. I can boop just for the sake of looking at the map. Back all the way around to over here. It's a long walk, but thankfully you don't have to pay a toll because you can go around the city. But yeah, eventually you guys get there. You go down the like alleyways and towards the door that you know their hideout to be.
I would knock like I did last time.
Yeah, you knock. And after a few moments, the door slowly opens again, and you once again see this very big, like orc person open the door. They look down at you, and they say, "Business."
Just need to ask the hot bottoms a couple questions.
They make like a grunting noise, and turn their head, and call into the room. Fuck, I don't remember her first name. What's her first name? Call back into the room. Miss Sally, it's that elf you talked to the other day. And you hear calling back from the back of the room. Just let him in. The orc turns back towards the two of you, and gives you a little bit of a weird look, going, but opens the door the rest of the way, and the two of you can step in. Once again, it's a very similar scene. You see a bunch of like gnomes and humans sitting around tables, like playing cards. And in the back are the two sisters. And this time, someone else sitting with them, and it looks like they were talking. And the two of you make your ways over to their table. And as you approach, and God, if I remember how I did that voice, Gira, It's nice to see you. Um, as you approach, and she looks at you, Galeen, and kind of like raises her eyebrows, and says, "And who is this?"
This is my friend and companion, Galeen.
Hey.
Like nods at you, and says, "Well, it's nice to meet you, Galeen. I'm Miss Ellie Hotbottom. Um, what can I do for you?"
Galeen, if you want to go ahead and start with your question, we can start a little bit smaller and then.
All right. Well, we'll a little warm up. Are you? But have you by chance seen in the last? And I look at like my wrist as if I'm looking at my watch. In the last like I don't know 30, 40 years, any Tritons that came through that you remember?
Um, she looks thoughtful, and like turns to the two other people at the table, one being her sister, the other being like a human man who is kind of just leaning back in their chair, watching you two quietly. Um, and she says, in the past 30, 40 years? Well, a lot of people come through Baldur's Gate. It's a very large city, and being on the coast, I've heard of a few Tritons. Met them personally? No.
Any couples that you recall?
Uh, I don't think I got that much information on any specific pair of Tritons. Nobody who came through here and made enough of a mess that I would be aware of it. Probably just some passer-throughs.
Do you by chance know anybody in the area that is well connected with people that pass through here that I could ask?
Well, if you're looking for Tritons, you could try someone in the city down by the docks. We're not very connected with the inner city guilds, because there's a whole other issue with thieves. But
Fair
I'm
enough.
sure you could find somebody down there. And I like turns to her companions and is like, "Do you know any of them? Anyone down by the docks?" And they both kind of like look thoughtful and then like shake their heads. And she waves her hand and says, "I'm sure you could find something. Being so far out from the city, I don't interact with those types of folks very often."
All right. Thanks for your help.
Well, of course. Friend of a
And now for why the real reason why we're here. We were at a gentleman's home last night.
friend.
Shit, what was his name again?
A gentleman caller? Sorry.
It's in chat.
Yeah.
Beltegar Stoughton.
Yeah, Beltagar Studham. We were wondering if anybody's cased his house, if there's any information about, like layouts or any kind of traps you may have inside, anything like along those lines.
Um, she like snapped her fingers a few times. And like, Staunton, is he the one who's gone mad?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, like I said to your friend here, Gira, we don't go in the city very often. Because the inner city, the guild, kind of doesn't like the outsiders interfering with their business. So I doubt none of my people have cased that home. I'm sure somebody up there has though. What's his name? I mean, that's the territory of the Fetcher. Um, I'm sure. I mean, I doubt you could find him, but I'm sure his people have.
All right. I can ask around some of the seedier places for an audience with them.
You could try. The kingpins often it's hard to get in contact with them. I mean, I haven't spoken with any of them. Uh, you could maybe get into touch with some of his friends and companions, but
Yeah. No, I'm not specifically trying to get an audience with them. Just anybody with information. So, and I'm sure there's plenty of fences and stuff that I might be able to acquire some information from.
oh, likely. If you could find location of one of the undercellar entrances, I'm sure you could find someone in there. I
Right.
don't know any personally, but
All right. I'm sure I can find out something.
yeah, I believe in you, Gira. You're a bright kid. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I was one of the few outer city kids that got into the city on a mark, so I'm sure I can figure out
Yeah,
something
and you're
in
still
there.
alive, which says something.
Yeah. The bloodline definitely helped with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that man. I'm sure somebody has. If he's gone as cuckoo as they say he does, then somebody has have to snuck in. But um, sorry I couldn't be more help.
No, that was wonderful actually. I mean, obviously I hadn't had any interactions with the city guilds either, so
Oh yeah. Uh, they I don't mess with them. I don't want to deal with them.
yeah. I'm sure they're as bad as the people who live in the city, so maybe worse.
Yeah, she laughs a little. Says that they have the organization, but they don't have the family.
Yeah.
But regarding that thing you came to me about the other day, we haven't seen anything. But I will keep an eye out still. Wagons full of treasure is promised.
Heads up, we actually got a little bit more information. They should be here like about 4 days ish at this point.
Oh, great. Should I still be sending word if I see them?
Yeah, we're still trying to locate them and figure out where they're like where they're being sent, I guess, mainly. So we're hoping they leave through the north gate. That's where we're all chilling for now.
I see. Yeah, you told me the rose, was
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll send someone over there if we see anything.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Is that it?
Yeah. Unless there's something we could do for you.
Well, no, I don't think right now, but I do know where you're staying. So if I ever need a hand here, I'll be sure to call.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to help.
Yeah, she smiles and kind of like waves her hand like goodbye, and goes to turn back to the people she was speaking with.
We get a bit of like a head tilt kind of bow and walk out.
Mhm.
Milady.
Yeah.
Tips Fedora.
Yeah, cool. The two of you leave the hideout of the Hot Bottom Sisters. Running the world. And start to make your way, unless there's something else you want to do out here, back towards the inner city.
Ready to go to the inner city. find out
Cool,
what
cool.
the underseller is and find some kind of contact.
Mm-hmm. Whew. Is Dale still gone?
Nope, just got back.
Cool. Great timing. Cool. Elba, you head out around the same time as Kira and Galeen do. Back into Baldur's Gate, into the Temple District of the Upper City. Back towards the High House of Wonders. But instead of going to the High House of Wonders, you go across the street to the Hall of Wonders, which, as you'd imagine, the two get mixed up. You see this similarly to the fuck the church. Similarly to the church, it's a very big building. With the like white marble columns and walls and the bronze doors. Um, and the doors to this building, much like the church next door, are open, and you can see some of the museum inside. Alongside, outside of the museum are small like uh, stalls where it looks like they're selling little like trinkets and knickknacks. Um, and you see by the door there's some people like waiting around and speaking, and there's a lot more people just like moving throughout the little stalls outside. And this is what you see.
All right. I mean, yeah, like I said before, she's mainly like just here to be a tourist, pretty much. This is part of the reason she was coming to the city in the first place. So yeah, she's gonna, I guess, browse the stores for a little bit. Probably not actually buy anything, and then eventually head inside and probably spend a few hours just looking around at all the exhibits and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, like
you
looking for ideas or just appreciating the work.
Yeah. You real quickly peruse just the outside stalls, and it's a lot of things that you could probably make yourself. It's like jewelry boxes with hidden compartments and like locks and pumps. Just little things, little knickknacks and baubles. Um, and you see like even uh in all of these stalls they have sort of like magazine catalogs. And as you like pick it up and flip through it, it seems to be just like a catalog of different things you can order from them. Um, and eventually you get around to going into the museum. Um, Someone does offer a tour, but admission is 5 silver pieces, whether or not you want the tour. Um,
It's a trap.
Sure, I'll take the tour.
Yeah. Like a human man offers you a tour, and you're like, yeah, sure. And you can tell it's another like priest from next door. And as he starts leading you inside, he explains that like you're strictly prohibited from touching anything, but he is happy to explain whatever you have questions about. And as you're led through the museum, it's it's probably one of the like coolest things Alba has ever experienced. You came from a small little town village, um where people were artificers, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think it's a fairly decent sized city.
Yeah, then a city with artificers. But here you see just like huge and impressive like items. Inside you see like a one of the first ever far seers ever created, which is a telescope. And like a steam dragon, quote unquote, which is a car. It's used to can convey heavy objects and large loads of goods, and tells you that they're used down by the dock a lot. There's like a steam powered mechanical orchestra in one room, and like a hand powered printing press. It's a lot of things in this museum. It's very big, and it's very impressive as you're led through it. But it'll probably take museum tours usually take like an hour ish. As there's a lot of things in here. And after he's done leading you through, you would be free to explore further by yourself, or just go back outside, and do whatever else you wish to do.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be gonna spend more time looking at like armor and weapons, but she's going to be looking at basically everything.
Yeah. I imagine Alba ends up spending quite a bit of time here.
Yes.
Perusing all of the exhibits on display, including just huge sets of power armor, very similar to one you have, but likely much more advanced.
Right.
And weapons that like a great sword that acts as a walking cane. And you just push a button, and it turns into a great sword. There's quite a big armor and weapons exhibit that you would be able to look around in.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically going to just be a tourist for a lot of the day.
Yeah. Cool. And that's what Elba does. If there's anything in particular you think of, just let me know. Eli is right next door. It's a very similar process. You go very early in the morning. Mr. Black is not there. You wait. He shows up. You're let in, and starts working on your problems.
Just doing my 9 to 5.
Doing your 9 to 5.
At least until the cultists get here.
Until, huh?
Until the cultists get here.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Cool. And then Z and Haskell, the two of you stayed behind at the Rose. I imagine Z, you get breakfast. Haskell's also offered breakfast.
He'll take it.
He'll take breakfast. The two of you sit and eat together. Unfortunately,
Silently,
one
awkwardly.
of you is very chatty. I don't know if there's anything in particular the two of you want to do while you're staying at the Rose waiting for an update, but
no, I think I've got me personally. I've gotten everything that I can do done. I'm anxiously waiting a reply from my parents. Sent a letter.
Yes.
Aside from that, nope. There's nothing really I can do. I lied. There's one thing that we need to do. So, Haskell,
Yeah.
I think you're don't want to pursue. But I do understand that lizard folk live in swamps, or most of them do.
Yes.
How do you go about moving inside of a swamp? Do you know? Do you reckon you could teach me a thing or
He
two about
blinks at you. Like as soon as how do you move around in a swamp? He just blinks.
that? Right. Forget I asked. Yep, and that's about it.
He will like eventually cock his head to the side and just say, "Swim."
Oh, yes you can. Yes you can swim. I'll just have to survive wherever I can.
So
Do-
ominous.
Do you have fogs, like very dense fogs in swamps that you usually frequent?
Do what? Sorry.
Dense fogs and like noxious vapors from the swamp.
Does Haskell remember dense fogs or noxious vapors in his swamp?
Imagine
Well,
the usual seasonal fog, maybe.
definitely fog. It is a marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what Forgotten Realms wiki says. Da, da, da.
I know black
No
dragon's
noxious vapors.
breath can be poisonous.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Definitely it can. Poisonous and acidic. Enough to melt your body down.
It doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
noxious vapors.
And
Just
there is
casually though.
always fog. Randomly.
I'm just thinking ahead. Don't worry about it.
Haskell will shrug.
Yep.
Cool. I will remind you in case you've forgotten. Z does have a appointment to make, which is run back to the sea tower at some point today. But it doesn't have to be now this morning. Um,
I'm trying to think.
cool.
I thought they were gonna contact me, but no. I told them to look for the info and that I would come back again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, so that I don't end up having everyone else wait on me. Pascal, do you mind coming with me to downtown?
What for?
I just need to make a quick stop by the sea tower. Talk to the guards, get some information, maybe some updates if anyone's seen anyone resembling the cultists or anything like them.
I can come.
I'm just offering in case you don't have anything else to do.
He shrugs, kind of looks around the inn. It's like, no.
Head out then, and I'll head out with Haskell to the sea tower, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. The two of you head out from the roads at this point, probably later in the morning. To the sea tower of Baldurin.
God, how much was it to get into the town again? 1 gold every time, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Ow.
I gotta love.
This stupid fucking town is gonna bleed me dry. Start to go, I'm gonna start walking around the city all the way down to the south and then fly into the city from the south.
Get shot down. Yeah. The two of you make your way into the city. You enter the Black Dragon Gate and head down to the Baldur's Gate. Head all the way down to the Sea Tower, which is just this little outcropping. And it's a good walk. But once you get there through the foggy and wet streets of Baldur's Gate, you enter the sea tower again, and you see the same young lady at the desk as you talked to before. And once again, there's people just doing stuff around.
Yeah, I'll just go up to the person at the front desk. Hey, sorry to inconvenience you again. Um, I came by here yesterday, asked about some information, maybe meeting. I want to say it was the captain, but it's not the captain. I know it's they have a specific name for it.
Well, when she referred to him, she mentioned he was just the leader, and also that he was a Grand Duke.
Boy. Oh boy. Yeah, possibly meeting with the leader, guards of the watch.
Yeah, she looks up and sees you and obviously recognizes you and sees Haskell behind you, um, and kind of like gives the both of you a wave, and she says, yeah, I spoke with, uh, I spoke with some people yesterday, and he does actually want to speak with you. You said you came from Greenest, right?
Yes, that would be correct.
Right. Um, if you could wait here for a few minutes, I will be right back.
Of course. And Z is like standing, like almost in military salute, right? He's like perfectly straight, like right. Make sure they're
Uh-huh.
looking proper. The officials are coming in, just like straighten my hair, just pull it back a little bit, tuck it behind the horns.
A calculated angle of the elbow.
Yeah. Just looking all prim and proper. Yeah, I'll wait there for them to come back.
Yeah, cool. Z and Haskell
Mhm.
step aside, and she gets up, like closes the book she was reading, and leaves the room. And probably like 5 minutes pass, and she returns. You see her come back out of the door she exited through, and following behind her is a taller woman. Um, and they're speaking to each other, uh, and
Right.
as she reapproaches the desk with the other woman, she just goes to sit back down and gives the two of you like a friendly smile. And the other woman rounds the desk, and looks between the two of you and ends up sticking a hand out to Z, and gives you a smile. And she says, I am Ashanti Lu. I am Alder Ravenguard's right hand. I will be leading you upstairs. It's very nice to meet you.
Well, Ashanti, pleasure to meet you. My name's Azmed. Azmed Elith. Pleasure. Lead the way.
Yeah, and she shakes your hand, and looks at Haskell, and
Haskell will give her a nod.
Right, this is my companion, Eskel.
yeah, she nods back at you, Haskell, and says, "Well, it's nice to meet the both of you. Right this way." Um, and she turns, and leads you back around the desk into the further area of the building, um, and back through that door. Uh, and she starts to lead you upstairs. Um, and you pass by several like landings, and you're walking upstairs for a while, uh, and eventually, um, you get to a door and she knocks, um, and you hear a come in from inside, and she like holds out a hand for the two of you to pause, um, and opens the door a little and sticks her head in, and she says, Alder, I'm here with the people from Greenest. Um, and from inside, you hear you hear the, you can only assume it's Alder Ravengard. say, just let them in. And she nods and steps a little bit out of the door and then opens it the rest of the way. And steps in first. And you see, as the two of you are standing outside, I assume, start stepping into the room.
Yep.
A very nice office. It looks like, based on a window nearby, that you're on one of the topmost levels of this tower. Sitting behind a desk with some like paperwork on it is a man who I can share his portrait. I don't actually have a token for him, but he does have a portrait.
I would like to point out while you're bringing up the portrait, I am not wearing I'm wearing my new clothes, not my old uniform from the Neverwinter Guard, just so that I avoid making any kind of misunderstandings.
So you're not.
I look like a civilian.
Okay. Okay. Let me real quick. Put this in. I can show it to you like this, but then I'll have to move it to the right folder. Show to players.
Folder.
Folder, then drive. Not in the right folder. Go down, yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah. You see this man, sitting behind the desk. And like behind him, behind his chair, is a very large, sheathed bastard sword, up on the wall. And as the two of you step in, he looks up from what he was doing, and gives you a small, like a business smile, and says, please sit. Gestures to the chairs beside his desk.
I'll take a seat. I don't know if my skill even fits in the seats.
No, Haskell will stand. He prefers to stand.
Yeah. As Z, you go and sit. And Haskell, you stand behind the chair.
Yeah.
The woman who led you up here closes the door and stands like next to the door, still in the room. And he looks between the two of you, and says, which one of you is Azimuth?
Be me, sir.
And he like turns to look at Haskell and says, and you would be?
Haskell.
He nods. And he goes through some papers on his desk, and pulls one out. And you can see like a broken seal on the outside. And kind of like slides it over the desk. And doesn't like necessarily offer it to you, but you can see it's the letter that Governor Nighthill sent to Baldur's Gate, about all the stuff you asked them to warn him about. And he says, I was told that you were the people who came from Greenest and are likely being referenced in this letter.
Yeah, that would be us. Specifically asked for that letter to be sent ahead of time.
Well, I am being told that there is a group of raiders who might be a great threat on my city. Is this something you know more about?
Well, we know a thing or two. I would need to. I'm not certain how much you know, but I can fill you in on any of the details. If you have any questions? But we are waiting on them, hoping that they will show up here so that we can stop them before they can cause any further chaos or destruction.
Yeah, he nods and he says, "Well, I'm not sure how much of a problem you think these raiders to be. Baldur's Gate is a very well defended city, and I am hesitant to believe that they're much more than a one morning's cleanup, if anything."
Well, if you can clean a dragon in the morning, then I suppose it would be.
He looks at you and says, "There was mention of a dragon, but dragons are intelligent creatures, and I'm not sure if they would be at any time soon ready to launch an attack on a city as big as mine."
Well, not wrong on that. Um, I don't know. From what we know, or at least from what we were able, whatever information we were able to gather, sounds like they one dragon is not the limit of their abilities or the reach of the organization. And they did manage to convince a dragon, a blue one, to attack Renest. I think the only reason they left was they were so bored than anything else. I can be perfectly honest. Tried defending against it. We nearly died trying. More than one guard did.
Ah. Mhm. He nods along and says, "Well, it's not unheard of for a dragon to attack a smaller village such as Griest. I apologize, Mr. Elith, but to me, this letter sounds like a mayor, a governor of a very small town in Baldur's Gate lands who got attacked by a group of raiders, which is bound to happen, and got paranoid. Oftentimes, these kinds of things don't unfold into much else. One time thing."
Right. Um, well, if anything, very least I believe it would be against the laws of the city to not pay taxes, vast amounts of ill-gotten goods and riches the cultists will be bringing into the town. Could at least help bringing them those grounds. Might not be for the raiding and assaulting towns on the way here, but would stop them from spreading any further evil on the world.
Mr. Elith, if you could bring me proof that people entering my city are both murderers and smugglers, then it is my duty to apprehend them. But we have not come across any peoples who have had explicit proof of this fact.
Can I do a sense motive on him?
Yeah,
He's
give
been
me an
paid
insight check.
off.
Oh god. It'd be weird if the captain of the guard was paid off. But
Not
not
really.
not an oh god,
Oh,
not
not
unheard
really.
of. I can't. He's a figure of authority.
He's clearly entirely trustworthy.
Yeah, of course, sir.
Yes.
I wouldn't
I, Go ahead.
expect otherwise. See if we can find. Apologies for wasting your time.
Were you about to say something, Hesla?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he like waves the hand dismissively, and says, "I just wanted to speak with one of the people who was at Greenest. We did send reinforcements to help the reconstruction of their town. Not many, but enough. But yes, I cannot do anything for you unless you bring me proof. Um, and it likely wouldn't be me you were talking to. If you have any problems, you can go to any members of the Flaming Fist. They are stationed throughout the city."
Right, of course. Is there anything else?
He like glances over your shoulders towards the woman at the door, and then shakes his head no, and says, "I have nothing else. If you have any questions, this will likely be the last time we speak. So, if not, you are free to go."
I'm sort of starting to stand up. Oh, I do have one more question. Is there any chance I could ask or if get permission to view the logs of people entering and leaving the town? A friend of ours, and I'm sort of looking at Heskel, has been looking for some missing people as well. Should I know this is probably below your pay grade.
Uh, um, he looks at you and says, I I am in charge around here, so it's not below my pay grade, Mr. Edith. Um,
I
what
just out of
exactly are
character.
you looking
Just
for?
out of character. Below your pay grade, meaning below his like it's
This is
inconsequential to
grunt
him.
work for what he should
Yeah,
be doing, yeah.
he
Oh.
shouldn't be taking care of these affairs because he's too important for it.
Ah, I see. Then he says, what exactly are you looking for, Mr. Edith?
I believe a couple of tritons. Um, I believe them to be related to her, but I don't have all the details. She was looking for. They should have passed through town. I think she mentioned. Well, do you recall if it was 10, 20 years ago? Mentioned.
No, I'm not sure.
Well, regardless, it would be old records from about a decade or so ago. A couple of tritons having gone through the city.
Yeah, he thinks to himself for a moment, and says, well, if you have names, then my friend here can probably assist you. Gesturing to Miss Ashanti, who led you up here.
Um, I'll I'll get those names and let's get started on that. But again, thank you for your time. I don't want to take up more of it.
And he nods, and waves a hand, and the woman steps away and opens the door. He says, "It was nice to meet the two of you. I hope you can stop whatever you're looking to stop."
Thank you. I'll nod and start heading out.
Haskell will also nod.
Just
Yeah.
just occurred to me for a moment that we are the only two tailed members of the party, are we not?
Yes.
Okay. It's just like the fact that we're at least Z is running out of the room with the tail between his legs came through my mind. This is wait, the two of us have tails, and it's the only people who have tails. Never mind. Sorry, weird thought. Let's keep moving.
Uh, yeah. The two of you are led out of the room, and the woman closes the door behind. I assume Haskell, who's not half jogging out of the room. And as she closes the door and starts to lead the two of you downstairs, she says, "So you're looking for people? Do you not have the names on you?"
I can't remember them off the top of my head. I'm certain she's mentioned them sometime. Maybe she hasn't. Sorry, I need to talk to my companion. I'll be back as soon as possible.
All right. Well, then let's just lead you downstairs, and when you get back, we can try and help with this issue.
Of course.
I will say I don't know how much information I'll be able to disclose to a civilian about other members of the public who we have information on, but I can do what I can.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, just a quick question. Are there any air traffic regulations in the lower city? As he's like saying as he's like turning away to go out the main entrance onto the bridge.
um, she looks at you and says, "Well, you're not allowed to enter the city without paying the toll. So keep that in mind.
Got it.
Same generally goes with the toll in between the inner city and the upper city, so you'll have to go through the Baldur's Gate. But otherwise, as long as you don't seem suspicious, I'm sure you will be alright."
Right. Thank you. And with that, I'll start heading out out of the tower with Iskel, unless Iskel, you want to do something else.
No, Haskell doesn't have anything to say.
All right.
And yeah, the two of you leave with a goodbye from the woman. Is there anything in particular that you want to do while you're in the city, or would you just like to go back to the Rose and wait for the leave there?
Actually, after they get out of the guards building, uh, Haskell will turn to Z and say, we have the papers saying that the cult should come here. You remember those, right?
I know, but well, I think it's gonna be better if we handle finding. Been getting a wrong buy from guards in this town. He might not be the best. Like, and I'm trying to whisper this as close to Haskell as possible. He might not be the best and most reliable source of it. Thanks. Thor is right. Hey, there's some things they don't care. I just want to figure some stuff out before I give them the full information. Especially if they're not willing to show support and stuff. Get go.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Then again, where are the two of you headed to? You're in the city, so if you want to do something in the city without having to go back through the gates.
I'll go, Haskell, if you want to come with me. I'm heading to Boris.
Haskell will shrug and tag along.
And off to Boris we go. Which is
Cool.
technically still within the lower city, it's just that we need to cross the entire fucking city.
Yes. As you literally go from here to here.
But, like so.
Yup.
Instead of
Someone-
being
wanted to
3,000,
find someone
it
like
is
you
literally
across.
twice as long.
Uh-huh. Cool.
There's a reason why Galeen
Then-
really wanted to swim across.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
And I could fly, but that would mean leaving Haskell stranded.
Cool. The two of you start the very long trek all the way around Grey Harbor to Boris. Gira and Gully. Two of you speak with the Hot Bottom. You head through the outer city and back towards the inner city. What's the plan?
Well, I would seek out any information of the underseller that I could find.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically looking for information on what's his name? Beltagar Staunton, and see if I can get any maps and whatnot.
Uh-huh. And I know Galeen said she had something she wanted to do on the way through the city.
No, just at some point if we're ever near the docks or whatever, that to ask some questions before we end up leaving would be
Okay.
important to her. But that's, I mean, she's just gonna ask about her parents. So
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think the underseller will probably be a good place if they had any dealings. It would all depend on their business while they were in the city.
gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I will say, I imagine the two of you are walking and talking, or maybe not talking very much, walking and thinking at the very least. You would recall Bori mentioned the underseller. He didn't really explain what it was, but he said he thinks he located a entrance to the undercellar, and that's where all the problems are. That's what he said.
Well, I'd probably stop in and see if I get the location then.
Sounds good to me.
Because he's in like the southern part of the town, right?
Yeah, so you guys would be like coming through here, and he lives over here.
Gotcha.
Love the idea
right
that
by the gate out here.
love the idea that we're like running into each other just like on the corner of Boris' house. What are you doing here?
I mean, yeah, it
Pretty
would
much.
be almost at the exact same time. As like you guys went over here, and then you guys went over here and had to walk all the way around after waiting a little while. So it, I mean, I imagine, because Gira and Galeen set out earlier, it's like the two of you see Bori's house, and you're approaching the house, and Haskell and Z, you're not at his house, but you like briefly see a like Triton lady pass through some people standing next to a tall elven man. You can only assume those might be your friends.
Yeah. I imagine like I'm putting a hand to my ear to like cast message and like wait no stop I stop myself. It's like hold up no need to not do that anymore, and I'm just gonna keep sort of pat Pascal on the shoulder, point at them, and start to like quicken my pace so that we can catch up before they go in and lock the door again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Colleen and Gira, you're like stepping, or one of you stepping up onto the doorstep to knock. And the like other like is turning and see the two of them, Z and Pascal, stepping out into the same area as the two of you as you knock on the door.
Huh. What are you guys doing here?
Just had to do a quick update for. I wanted to update Bori on the state of the investigation, and also, Arta giving me the wrong vibe in this city.
I mean, guards always give me the wrong vibe, so.
Well, have you ever gone to Neverwinter?
No.
It's completely different there.
Gotcha. Well, that's good, I would assume.
Well, to start off, like as we were waiting. Well, to start off, they're not trained by other guards. They're actually trained by adventurers. It's a kind of really neat thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, seems like a good. I mean, that's how I was trained, so I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What do you know?
A lot.
Yeah, so the four of you are standing outside his home. And I imagine it's Galeen who knocked as Gira noticed the other two. You hear from the other side again, just who is it? I imagine you call back in your names after the clack 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 of the door unlocking. It opens and you see Bori and his cat. He has Dusk like up in one arm as he opens the door and like gestures you in.
Yeah. I'll hit on it.
Yeah. As I imagine the four of you step in, and he closes the door behind you, and doesn't start speaking until he has at least one lock locked.
I would like to, as I'm stepping in, take a look around, see if see any like familiar faces throughout the day that happen to be behind us again.
Oh, as you're like stepping into the doorway, just looking back into the people in the street.
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a perception
Oh,
check. Nope.
that's how today's going. Gotcha.
So we've rolled 2 skill checks so far, both of them nat ones. All right.
Nope, you don't see anything. You don't recognize anyone as he closes the door. You're not given much time to look either. And locks one lock and turns to like look at the four of you as he continues locking the door. And says, "What brings you here? I wasn't sure when I was going to see you all again."
Well, I'm actually not sure why Gira and Galen are here, but I was gonna update you on how the investigation is going. Why are you here, Gira?
Oh, he talked about knowing the entrance to the undercellar, and I was wondering if I could get that location.
Yes, of course I did locate an entrance to the undercellar. It is, as all entrances are rumored to be, in the upper city. I can show it to you on a map. Are you going? Why are you going? It's not very easy to get in, as far as I'm aware. I would not I would not try in 100 years.
They have the information. I would assume they have the information about the crazy man in Upper District.
I see. Well, I can, of course, give you that information. I need a map. Do you? I probably have a map somewhere in my house. And he like bends down and puts the cat down on the floor, who takes a few steps away from Bori and like sniffs at Haskell's feet. And Bori just kind of like turns and starts back into that room where just like the walls are covered in like stacked books and scrolls and papers. You've all been in there. Just like turns the corner into the room.
I would follow behind.
Mm-hmm. Ugh, my god. Yeah. He goes into the room. And you get the sense this might take a little while as he starts like goes up to like one stack of books and starts like running his finger over the spines, like reading the spines of the books, and there's a lot of them in here. As he starts looking through all the books he has in this room, and as he does, Z, do you follow them in?
Yeah, I'm following it.
Yeah, as he does, he kind of like turns briefly to look at you and says, well, if you would like to update me on those things you were mentioning, then feel free. Just looking for some book.
Right. So I managed to get an audience with Lord Stunton. He's definitely mentally perturbed. Not just because of the deaths of his family members. Familiars in this world does have a completely different meaning. By the death of his family members, but definitely feels like there's something else going on. He's been taking all of the valuables out of his house and putting them into a vault. He claims to have seen dragons both in his sleep and waking world. Not sure it's just hallucinations, maybe something else, but I was talking to my companions about doing something. Unable to figure out if there's any involvement from other sources. So, wondering if you had any theories yourself about what could be going on.
Mm-hmm. He glances back at you, like briefly pausing in his search. And he says, so he is clearly insane and sees dragons in his sleep and in real life, is what you're telling me.
I'm not certain he's completely insane, but it definitely looks like it, yeah. Might also be a curse or some kind of illusion. Didn't claim to see any dragons while I was there. So
it could be. It, like you, it could be an illusion. You know, illusion magic can be very powerful, and those who can wield it can do some pretty nasty things. Though I don't know why someone would be repeatedly uh, casting illusion spells to make this poor man see dragons. It could be he just having nightmares about dragons, and then he thinks he also sees them in real life.
That could just be it. I might just be overthinking things.
Perhaps, but all his family got murdered, and it could be somebody's looking for something from him. They're trying to scare it out of him.
Yeah, it could just be somebody trying to scare him into finding it for him without realizing they're finding something for him, kind of thing. You know, if I were to scare you, well, if somebody wanted you to get out of this house, they could try to scare you into leaving it. Same way, I think somebody could be trying to scare Lord Stunton to find one of the valuables in his vault, perhaps, or put everything in his vault so that they can steal from it. I don't know. It's a strange way to go about it.
Perhaps. I mean, they could try and get him out of the house. They could want something in the house. They could want him. They might want him dead. But if it's a wizard or a sorcerer or some other spellcaster who is powerful enough to be casting these kinds of spells, they could probably do that pretty easily.
I'm not familiar with this with the city of Baldur's Gate. How much power do patriarchs wield?
Patriarchs?
No, this is Z asking Board, like, how much power do patriarchs wield?
Ah.
As in, Lord Stunton is a patriarch, right?
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
patriarchs.
Oh,
I can
patriarchs.
spell it out. Yeah, it's a special Baldur's Gate term.
Okay.
Here, I can answer your question, but just for reference. Patriarch. Yeah, he focuses back on like looking for a book. And he says, "Well, the patriarchs, it's just a fancy word for the aristocracy in Baldur's Gate. They're the noble people. So they have all the money. They live all up in the upper city. They often are in with the dukes, who make the laws and run the city. A lot of them are very old and rich, and a lot of them are merchants. Some of them are just duke families. Depends on who. The main difference is they have a lot of money.
Is it they're usually in contact with the dukes?
Well, oftentimes, being in a position of power, being wealthy, makes it easier to speak with the dukes. Yes.
Sorry. Let's just find that book and see if we can help Giro with his thing. I have a couple ideas I would like to investigate. Oh, thank you. This Thea is.
Yeah,
C's mind is going like, okay, so now I know that patriarchs are also connected to the dukes. We just talked to one duke, because the leader of the guards is also a duke. And it's like, oh no,
Yes.
maybe somebody was trying to intimidate the patriarchs into opening a passageway, sort of thing, for the cultists, kind of thing. That's my running theory in my mind right now. But yeah.
Yeah, and he nods. And I will say, it would also probably explain like dukes are also considered patriarchs,
Yeah.
as they are the wealthy noblemen of the city.
I imagine Duke is
But
higher
yeah,
than your average patriarch, sort of thing.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
the dukes are like the people. They're the government.
Yeah, it's
They
the
run the city.
councilmen of the city, whereas
Yeah.
patriarchs are just the noblemen.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly. But yeah, he continues looking through his books and eventually finds one, and pulls it out. and flips through the pages. And you see, as he's like flipping through the pages, it looks like a lot of maps of different places. It eventually flips to a page of Baldur's Gate. And as he like brings it over to a table that's in this room and sets it down, it looks a little dated, but not enough that he couldn't mark out a spot on a map. And finds like a something to write with. And I can just mark it on the map, but would mark on the map for you, Gira and Galeen, where he believes an entrance to the Undercellar. Over, I believe over here. Oh, that's a very bad circle, but over there.
That's a pretty good circle.
Just as a reminder, if you use the square, the draw shape tool, and press Alt, you can draw a perfect circle with it.
Fancy.
Alt and Shift allow you to do the oh, no, sorry. Oh, there's no grid here. So.
Circle.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Yay. Cool.
He circles it on the map, and says, says to you, Gira, now I don't know a lot about the Undercellar, but I know most people aren't allowed down there. So if you plan on going there, you should probably have a good alibi.
I'll be honest with you, I was just gonna tell the truth. And you don't know this about me, but I'm actually used to be a thief with the Guild of the Outer City. So hopefully they don't hold that against me.
Yeah. He kind of shrugs a little and says, I try not to associate with your kind of people, or else I might find myself assassinated for knowing too much about them. Most people don't really know about the Undercellar. It's where a lot of people like you, that are a part of the bigger groups of people like you, go. So
Yeah.
there's a reason I haven't gone. Also, because I don't really like leaving this area of the city.
Yep.
What do you mean, you people?
Thieves, assassins, murderers.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
Don't worry, it was on my mind too. I was gonna make the joke of, by you people, do you mean criminals?
As soon as she said it, I was about to say, "What do you mean, you people?"
Oh, speaking of you people, hey, Galeen.
True.
I don't actually say that, just an FYI. But Z will ask Galeen once we are out of the house about the people she's looking for. But that will happen once we leave the house. Just a forward.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you want to leave? Bori will, like, after marking this in the book, very carefully, like, rip the page out and hand it to you. And, like, as he, like, puts it in your hand, he kind of, like, covers your hand over the paper with his for a moment. And he says, I would appreciate this back at some point, but you can keep it for now.
For sure.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can leave if you would like.
Yeah, that's all I
Unless you
needed.
would like.
I'd be dipping after that.
Right. Sounds like the two of you are going to some dangerous place. American, it'd be better if we tag along.
Yeah.
Probably.
Also,
I would definitely feel better if you guys were there.
Right. I'll head there then.
Well, it was thank you for updating me, Z. I appreciate it. I will try and see if I can find anything about illusions and dragons in Baldur's Gate. I'm sure there's something, but come back whenever.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for any mentions of Cult of the Dragon.
He like looks at you and says, a cult in Baldur's Gate. You're telling me there's a cult in Baldur's Gate that you think this is a cult?
We There might be a cult. That's just a running theory I have. Don't worry about it. Just keep an eye out for the specifics.
He like furrows his brow, and you get the sense he will worry about it. And but like nods and like waves and says, all right, I will look for illusions and dragons and cults in Baldur's Gate. All of you stay safe. If you need me, you know where to find me. I am afraid I might not be much use while you're in the Undercell again.
No worries.
It'll be fine. We can take care of each other.
Great. Have you checked up on that family, Azamat?
I sent word. Please don't remind me.
Great. Just let me know. I would be happy to know that they're safe. Please let me let you out. Leads the way back towards the entryway. To unlock the door and let the four of you out, and then once you said goodbye, close the door again. Lock it.
Yep. At which point, once we're out on the street, I'll sort of as we're walking, I'll sort of lean closer to Galeen and say, "Hey, Galeen, I know that you're looking for some people. Do you have their names?"
Yeah. Sydney and Dominic.
Last names? Do you reckon they might have been using them?
You'll just see Galeen kind of just like almost like wince in like pain / anger. And just say Firth.
Firth?
Yes.
Right. I'll see if I can find them on the get some help from the watch. I know that they were willing to look into the official records, but they needed some names. Are you okay with that?
More than okay with that.
All right. Well, go find some underworld markets, I suppose. And like you can see, there's like a face of, oh god, why are we doing this? Let's see, yeah.
Great. The four of you head back all the way across the city. This time having to go into the upper city again.
That's another. How much money?
God damn it.
I think it was to go from upper to lower was like 2 silver, 3 silver, something like that.
Something like that.
The expensive one was going through the Black Dragon's Gate because it was entering.
Yeah, going in and out of the city. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it's 1 or 2 silver, just because I'm looking at the the weird numbers of coins that I have.
Unfortunately, when the gate is called the Baldur's Gate and the city is called Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate,
Gate.
it's 2 copper pieces.
Oh, even cheaper. Alright, perfect.
At this point, it's probably starting to get into the afternoon. Because Z and Haskell left late morning to go to the sea tower. You spent some time there, and then you went all the way to Boris, so it's probably like early afternoon at this point. And yeah, the 4 of you head across city back that way. Elba, you are still at the museum. Not sure exactly how long you want to spend there. The 4 of you would also know where your 2 companions are if you want to try and find them.
I mean, I'll probably see if Z wants to like send him a message if they want to meet up or.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that we have everyone with us if we're heading somewhere dangerous.
I agree.
Well, someone dangerous where we don't know we have.
Yeah. Okay.
Go fetch these other 2. I was gonna say bozos, but they are the most technologically savvy of our group. These 2 nerds.
It's like
Yeah.
calling Mr. Stark a bozo.
it's literally Mr. Stark and his iron suit.
Right.
It's like
Pretty
Mr. Stark
much.
and Jarvis.
That moment when
And Jarvis,
Alba
yeah.
gets inside of Eli and uses him as a mech suit.
Oh god.
Kinky.
Precisely. Yeah, let's go fetch our 2 companions before we head
Like a
in.
synthesis summoner.
Also,
It would be a skeleton operating a meat robot that's operating a metal robot.
The double mech.
Weird.
the mecha
Weird, bro.
man.
Turning into fucking what's it called?
Mushroom
Anime?
dolls? Oh.
No.
No, now if Elba was pregnant, then.
We
Uh,
got something here.
What are you gonna
We
say?
need layers. We could call it the mecha ogre.
Oh god. No, it's the Gurren Lagann thing, right?
Gurren
Oh,
Lagann,
it
that's
has-
what I was
It's
thinking.
Gurren Lagann because
Has
it's
so many
Yeah.
layers. in
the
it.
small bot that gets inside the big bot that gets inside the bigger bot.
Cool. You, the 4 of you, head over towards the 2 artificers' houses, which are thankfully right across the street from each other. You probably don't see either of them outside. You know exactly where Eli is. You know Alba is probably in the museum somewhere.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Guys, wish me luck. Let's hope nothing bad happens. Close my eyes, put a hand to my ear and go, cast message, try to reach for Alba, and if she's within 120 feet, and I'm standing at like at the door of the museum,
Uh-huh.
like, hey Alba, we're looking for you. We're at the entrance of the museum.
Uh-huh. Do you have to see the target?
No.
You just need to point in their general direction.
At
I'll-
the building.
Yeah.
Message.
Yep.
Here we
You
go.
can cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the notice beyond the barrier. Yeah, okay.
So I'm like casting message as I'm like pointing, doing like a sweep with my finger, trying to reach Alpha.
Yeah, Z, you like tense up waiting for your magic to backfire on you. It doesn't. That doesn't happen. But as you cast message, you do know Alba's in this building. You sweep your finger across it, and do you feel it go through as Alba? You would hear Z's voice in the back of your mind.
I can reply through message, can't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the full minute. Oh wait, no.
You
Situation
can
window.
reply once.
You can reply once, yeah.
Yeah, and should just send a message back saying, "All right, I'll be out soon,"
Alright.
and then we'll come out about half an hour later.
So yeah, Z like gets the reply. It's like, oh right, yeah, she's coming out. She said she will be out soon. And it's like 5 minutes later. Oh, that's weird. 10 minutes later. Oh, what's taking her so long? I mean, she's within 120 feet. How far away could she be? Like, is it a maze in there?
This
This
is
is
right
easy.
here.
If it's a maze, I'm definitely not going in after her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, Z is waiting the full half an hour.
Very politely waiting. Yeah. Would anyone want to go get Eli while you wait for Alba, or just like once you see her and then go inside and find him?
I guess Gura would have just after 10 minutes, like I'll just go get Eli.
Right, I'll wait here for
Fair.
when Alba comes out.
Oh, yeah, cool. Then Gira, you turn away from the museum, and head into the temple. And like I said, you know where Eli is, or you know where he's supposed to be, because you've been to the office that he is being worked on in. And you head through the very big Temple of God. And you might need to ask like for directions at some point, but you have plenty of time. As it is very big. But eventually do find the office. The doors are open. And you see inside Eli, and once again, the artificer Nicole Black with like his goggles down. And he has like some of like Eli's like chest and back panels open. And is poking around.
Hey, we might need our companion here in a bit.
Yeah, he looks up, like over Eli's shoulder, and says, "Oh, well, hello there. Of course. We can finish this up in a minute or two, or at least, put these wires back in."
Would you like to activate
Ben's back
autonomous combat mode?
down. What?
Would you like to activate autonomous combat mode?
Let's see.
That's a good idea right now.
Activating autonomous combat mode.
Eli, I need to put these wires back together before you do anything.
Unable to activate autonomous combat mode.
I imagine there's like
Stand up, his
sparks
legs
flying
don't work.
as things are trying to activate and nothing's going on because the cables are pulled out.
Incapable of entering any combat mode.
Makes me think of War Machine. I think it's in Iron Man 2.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like, fires the missile and it just like pinks off of his head.
the big mama and it goes flying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, you stand like in the doorway, and Nicole like plugs in some like cords and refastens some things, and says, "We were going to finish up in a little while, probably here, anyways. So it's all right if you need to go, Eli."
Oh boy, am I needed?
Yep.
Neat. Has somebody suffered Immense physical trauma?
Maybe soon.
Nicole
Okay.
looks at you, like leans around Eli, and just like gives you a look. It's like, what?
Can't rule anything
What
out, man.
There's
Oh,
always the
all right.
possibility.
Well, don't get busted up too much, Eli. I just banged out those dents in your side panels.
That is correct. You did just do that.
And he like plugs some last things in, and Eli, you probably feel some like not like feeling, but like awareness of different parts of your body like come back as he like clicks something into place. And like dusts off his hands and closes your chest plate and walks around to the other side and like starts doing the same thing in the back. And eventually he does like put everything back into place that he was trying to fix. You get the sense, Eli, he told you that he was trying to find those flight modules you talked about, how they were located in your chest cavity. And it was like pulling things out and apart so he could look further in. But does reattach things and eventually closes the back panel. You once again have full like awareness of all your functioning parts. You could
Now
probably
capable
activate
of
combat.
entering autonomous combat mode. Would you like to enter autonomous combat mode?
Not yet.
I am entering autonomous combat mode.
Or do it now. That's fine.
Why do you
That was
kind
the
of
joke.
why do you kind of sound like Charlie Brown?
I don't know.
Who's Charlie Brown?
Where's this voice coming from?
God damn it.
Is that normal?
No, I might have hit something while I was working on things. We'll
He
fix
just
it.
hits him with a fucking
Wrench
wrench and it's
over the
like
back of the head.
concussive maintenance.
No, like a fucking vending machine. Yeah, just kick me a little bit in the side.
Bing.
Just a little bit. Good.
Is the glass bottle stuck again, Eli? Whack!
See like a little bit of an empty vial come out like in between his legs. Like, there it is. He picks it up, puts it back inside of his chest compartment. Wonderful.
He like pats you on the shoulder, and is like grabbing a cloth to wipe his hands off.
Here,
And
let
says,
me
"Well,
help
you're
you down from the table.
what?
He's got to be standing on the table because he's patting Eli on
Oh,
the shoulders.
probably. Yeah, he was like kneeling on a table so he could get comfortably into the chest cavities. And yeah, he wipes his hands off on a cloth and says, well, if you need to go, I suppose I'll see you again, Eli."
Yes, you will.
Great. Making real progress. I am hopeful for the future. I think in the next few days, but also I've never done this before, so really a toss up.
Well, it's better than nothing.
That's true. At the very least, I got your legs moving better.
They don't squeak anymore.
And yeah, he says goodbye to you too, Gira. And the two of you, unless there's anything else you want to do in this building.
So, whose ass are we kicking, Gira?
We don't know yet. We don't know if there'll be any ass kicking, but there's a potential for ass kicking, so I figured you'd want to be there.
Ooh, interesting. Have I told you about my autonomous combat mode?
You've said those words. I don't know what they mean.
It means ass kicking mode.
Ah, sweet. Well, have that ready to go.
As you wish. Scanning for threats.
Give a thumbs up, and then he starts walking away.
And Eli sort of just follows behind
Uh-huh.
him.
Great. Then yeah, the two of you exit the Temple of God. You see your companions probably still waiting for Elba. And after enough time, Elba, you walk out of the museum and see your newfound group of adventurers, probably standing around by the the merchant stalls, waiting, and all of you would see her too.
Oh, hey guys, I didn't expect you all to be here.
What?
You coming in, or did you have something you wanted to talk about?
Good lord, what took you so long?
Oh, it's a big place.
Right.
A lot to see.
Yeah, we're doing some
Fair enough.
potentially dangerous stuff. You wanna join us?
Sure. Give me the details.
I'm sort of looking at Gira.
Ass kicking time.
So we're
Yes,
going into a
kicking
place called the Undercity, or Undercellar, and it is run by the Thieves Guild, specifically the Inner City Thieves Guild, which is separate from the Outer City Thieves Guild, which I used to be a part of. So I'm hoping that my stint in the city gets me some recognition and hopefully gets us entry. But our friend said that it would be dangerous, so we want to have our probably best to all go in together.
I see. And that makes sense. Why are we going to speak to them?
To get information about the crazy guy's house. The other crazy guy.
The other crazy guy. Love it.
I mean, we could also choose not to, just wing it and just see what we find at the crazy guy's house. We don't have to go in here. I just figure if we want the information.
I mean, no, it makes sense to try and find out, but
Ass kicking time.
I mean, yeah. You all know where or what Bori tells you is a entrance into the Undercellar. And so you all make your way in that direction. You don't know exactly what you're looking for, but like you go into the wide. Once again, you're surrounded by the smell of spices and meats and baked goods. There's a lot of noise, and you go like sort of behind the main open area, probably behind some stalls, and walk along the wall of the wide to like the general area that Ori circled. You don't see any things marked the Undercellar, but if you want to try and find it, you can give me perception checks.
Investigation checks, maybe? Since we're spending some time to look for weird things.
Sure.
Yes.
Everyone be perceiving.
Yeah, I was like, eh. I may not be able to investigate it, but I may be able to perceive it.
Yeah. My bad. Let's see.
I imagine the difference between perception and investigation in this case is something like the difference between spotting that something is off and looking at the different signs and trying to piece together if there's like a pattern do the signs sort of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, probably something like that.
Multiple threats detected.
Yeah, we'll. Eli, those are civilians.
It's probably Z, Alba, and Galeen. The three of you kind of like start looking around. And Galeen, you are probably the first to notice that like the wall in this part of the wide is sort of at a you're at a corner of the wall, and against the corner is like a lot of like barrels and crates stacked up. And it's probably you who goes like, maybe something going on there. In between Z and Alba and you, the three of you kind of pull aside some barrels and some crates, and underneath all of these is a sewer grate, which you would think if there's a sewer grate, they would keep it uncovered so water could go in it.
Yep.
Great
Or
find,
there,
guys.
or there's Ninja Turtles in it.
Or there's Ninja Turtles, and you'll get a lot of pizza.
Weird crossover. Let's go.
I'm down.
There's a bunch of
Sounds like
turtles in this undercellar.
and one were rat.
But
And one where at.
plot twist: the reason
They
why
should
the
have
inner
always-
city Thieves Guild is so well known and nobody gets to see them is because they were Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Amazing.
As Ollie frantically changes the story.
She's like, shit.
You enter the undercellar, you see 6 turtles. I've never seen Ninja Turtles. I don't know how many of they are.
It's 4 of them.
She's a
4 of
child.
them.
You can't.
Yeah,
you
no,
can't
you're
blame
right.
her.
To be
Oh.
fair, my younger brother has. I just
That's because
was also
he's radical, obviously.
I was raised as a lady.
You're a lady.
X'd it out.
She's a nice lady.
A nice lady who likes
I
rats.
don't who like rats. But yeah, you see this. This is probably like Alba and the mostly Alba. Like kind of put those pieces together. Like usually sewer grates are out in the open for when it rains. And Alba, you like kneel down and like run your hands along the side of the grate, and you do find like a very a well hidden like underneath the lip of the grate like figure hold.
So
So we want to go in?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
For sure.
Get into the underside.
You just pulling this up.
Alba?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I vote yes.
Cool.
It's on Alba.
I'm just asking.
I mean, yeah. If yeah, if we want to go in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm a little out of it this evening.
it's all good. It's all good. Ugh. I mean, yeah, I was just asking because there are people around. You're not being actively stared at, but
Oh, that's a good point.
you are.
Actually,
Hang on.
we
The
probably
why?
are because Eli's there. And he literally has a thing where people are always watching him, but to like a benefit.
Yeah, there's like you're behind the merchant stall, so there's probably a few merchants who keep like looking over towards you guys. But it is like early afternoon, Baldur's Gate, in the main merchant square.
Do you want me to kind of create a distraction? Or
Oh,
do we really care?
I got it. Just give me. It's early afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Do people have like torchers and braziers running pretty much like 24/7 on the darker corners of the town?
Especially in this part of the city, yes. The upper city is always very well lit. If and as a bonus, a lot of Baldur's Gate is foggy, so they kind of have to keep
Excellent.
stuff lit.
Then I'm sort of yeah. I'm gonna expend 1 point of my sorcery point, and I'm gonna sort of nod for everyone like yeah, just start heading in, and then I'm gonna cast silently and silent and stillness. I'm gonna cast control flames to cause one of the braziers to suddenly spark with flame, like an intense flame and bright light. On the other side of on the other side of the main stalls, sort of to draw the attention of everyone in the other direction.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna head in.
Whoa.
Sort of like go 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 go
uh yeah. Since you are not trying to be spotted, I will still want stealth checks. You will have advantage because of everyone turning their heads as like whoosh, the fire in this
God, I
Wow, I
did.
did really good. I mean,
Everyone
you're the one
except
creating
me
the
so
chaos,
far.
right?
Well, you're the one literally speaking out loud. Quick, while nobody's watching.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
fair.
Like, all right, go go go. Oh wait, no.
like literally, you're saying that, and we're all gone.
Yeah.
Like
True.
You're standing by waiting to make a distraction. We're just like we're all gone already, and you're like, shit.
Let me
Pascal's like, wait, now?
It's our tails. They keep knocking shit over.
Yeah, as the the flame on the other side of the stall goes whoosh. You hear several people like who are nearby like shout in like surprise. There's like the clattering of something dropping, as you can only assume somebody like tries to get away as it intensifies in height and brightness. And all of you make your way. Like Alba very quickly opens the grate, and all of you get down into this cellar. It's a drop into this as the first you like drop into this pretty narrow, damp passageway. It's obvious people go through here, but it is very dank. As Z, you're probably the last one to go through, and you maybe pull it shut a little loudly.
Yep.
It like clatters a little as you close it on your way down. If there is a ladder that you could like hold on to pull it shut, and it clatters a little above you. And you drop down into dark passageway, and further down, far enough that you assume when the grates closed at night, light can't get through. Further down, you can see something lit.
Eli just starts walking.
He's just doing the same because I think both of us can see perfectly in here. Well, we see in black and white, but still.
Yeah. Kira's also not having any issue.
Yeah. It's the other half of the party that's the problem.
Lillian's like stumbling, stubs her toe. Fuck!
Shh. All right, Glenn.
Sorry.
Here, grab onto my shoulder. Or grab onto my wing.
Okay.
Rip swing off.
Oh.
Rip falls. Everybody falls.
Albert actually
Why am I
has
doing
night
this?
has dark vision goggles, so she can see.
I replace her Sophie.
Nice.
I imagine somebody coming in like on the from the light side and sees just like 5 pairs of brightly lit eyes staring at them, and then one pair's like thunk, thunk.
I mean, you wouldn't see mine because I'm invisible in darkness.
Boy. And mine are mechanical, so mine don't have that reflective thing in the back.
No, but I imagine it's like the dark vision goggles where you see the green light just.
Oh yeah, it could be. It could be like yeah. It could be like that. And instead of black and white, I see everything in a shade of green, which is the same problem, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lot of you head down this tunnel, and as you get closer to the light, you see the light is a lamp on a table, and sitting on two sides of the table are two people, and they're playing cards. Um, and as all of you like start coming into the light, one of them looks up at you guys and looks a little surprised to see anyone. But like nods at you all. And as you get close enough, he like looks between all of you, and says, you know, most people don't come into the undercellar in 1 in the afternoon.
Hello.
Most people aren't us.
Well, we're here.
I don't know if you look at
I guess.
you've seen a party composition like ours either.
Your
Like-
secret door is great.
Looks at you guys, and they like share a look. And one of them puts their cards down, like face down, and leans back in their chair. And they are like sort of blocking the way further into this tunnel. And they say, well, what are you doing here?
We're actually here seeking some information.
Uh-huh. Did you get passage by someone? Like a note or verbal note? Okay. Well,
We don't know who to talk to. I haven't been in the city in like 60-ish years. So I was just hoping that coming here would at least get us somebody to talk to.
I can go see if someone's around who can tell me you're allowed in. It is 1 in the afternoon, so there's not very many people around right now, but I can see. I'm not really supposed to let people in without permission.
That's fine.
So
If you can ask around if anybody has any information about a certain nobleman named Beltegar Staunton. I mean, that's all that I'm here for. So
well, that's not really my job. We're just here to make sure people are let in when they're supposed to be let in. I can go see if you're allowed in, but
Yes, let us speak with the manager.
Eli the Karen.
I mean, if it
the
helps,
manager
my name.
might not be in.
If it helps, my name is Gira.
All right. You well known around here?
I survived something that I probably shouldn't have survived, but it was like 60 years ago. So I'm not sure if anybody's been alive that long here.
Well,
Our profession doesn't usually let you live very long, so
No, but I can try. Wait here. I'll go see if people are in. Um, stay here. They like they look at the other person who kind of like sighs a little and puts down their cards, and like lean back in the chair. Um, and they pull out their chair and like keep it out in like the middle of the walkway, and turn and start walking down the hallway. The other person just kind of turns to look at you guys, but doesn't say anything.
I'm gonna walk up and just like pick up the other guy's cards and look at them, and then set them back down, and then walk away.
Uh-huh.
And if it's a good
Yeah.
hand, I will give him a kind of. You're not gonna want to. And then
Nice.
if it's a bad hand, be like, you're good.
Yeah, you like pick up his cards. It's like a pretty good hand, and you like look at the other guy like, nope. And they the other guy like looks at you and then gives you a smile.
And I do my best to set him down exactly how he set him down, in the exact place.
Uh-huh. Um but yeah, the you guys stand around and wait for quite a while. You see the person disappear like around a bend. And you hear some like echoey like thumps after like a minute or two after he leaves. And it's probably another like uh another like 30 minutes that you're waiting down here. The person waiting to play cards again doesn't look like they're in any rush, as they just kind of lean back in the chair and watch you all. And eventually you hear those thumps again, like the clunks of something. It sounds like hitting a wall. Um, and then you see the person from before reappear at the end of the hallway. Um, they brought a light with them, so you can see them as they walk. And they reapproach the table and look at you all. And he says, "Well, somebody was in. I was told that they're not sure if you did. Do you know if you were spotted coming down here?"
Pretty confident we weren't.
Not by anybody that matters.
Might have caused a scene though.
Yeah, my friend made a fire larger as a distraction for us to come in.
Uh-huh. Well, I've been told she doesn't want you going back out while it's still light out. So otherwise you probably wouldn't be let in, but thankfully, she is nice and said you could come in on her word, but also you'll have to leave as soon as it's safe.
But
Well, that gives us a couple hours, so. Wait.
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like you guys should have a more hidden entrance. Just saying.
It was hidden.
It's kind of out in the open.
Like looks at you. Like sure. Um sure. Just follow me. Uh and like takes the lamp again and turns around. Um and the other guy continues to stay where he's seated as he pushes the chair in so it's easier for all of you to walk through. And starts leading you down the tunnel. um and eventually you get to the bend, you could see him go down every time. And as you do, you see a wooden like trapdoor on the floor. Um, and he opens it, and it clunks against the wall, and gestures for you all to go down.
There we go.
Yeah. He as you're all like going down the ladder, he says, the main tavern area, at least in this section, is just go around that corner, and it's the second door on your right. It'd probably be best if you just stayed there.
Alright. Through our interaction, does he seem
Yeah,
to be telling the truth?
hmm.
Is there any kind of
Give me an
I don't know?
insight check.
Nice.
With the 12, yeah. You get like Gira is probably suspicious in general because you are dealing with who you can only assume is a criminal. And
Yep.
they're prone to not tell the truth. But it seems like he's trying his best to help, but also doesn't seem very interested in helping. um, and Eli, you get a lot of the same minus the background knowledge about criminals. But he does genuinely seem to be like, well, stay down there. You were only being let in here because they don't want you causing even more of a scene when you go out. But just play it cool. Doesn't seem like he's trying to lure you into a trap or anything.
Alright. Sweet. Could I get the name of the person who's allowing us entrance
Oh,
so I can thank them properly?
yes, she probably won't be in that main area, but if you see her, short, dark hair, her name's Poppy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and he nods. And as the last of you like get down the ladder, he closes it behind you. And closes the trapdoor behind you. And you hear like receding footsteps, and you are standing in a now pretty lit like hallway. And you can see down it. There's like a door to your right, and then a second door that's open, and you can see it leads into somewhere. Um, and one like directly across at the end of the hall.
I mean, I guess we head in the direction he told us to.
Yep.
Yeah. He was talking about the open door. As you go into this area, you see it looks like a tavern room. There are tables, and sitting at the tables are a good handful of people. Some of them are like playing like games. Others are sitting like alone, drinking. Um, and they kind of like a lot of them kind of like turn to look at you guys as you enter.
Hello.
And like nobody responds, Eli. It was kind of like turn to look at you. And as you step into this room, you can see. Oh, this map doesn't have it, but there is a bar with somebody working behind it. And you see like further down, um, there's like an open area, and you can see like blood on the floor down in that further area where there's no tables. And it opens up to a bigger room that you can't see most of.
All right. I guess we'll head to the bar and I'll get everybody a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Eli
See
takes
if they
out his teacup.
see if they have any like food as well.
Um, yeah. You are able to get drinks. And there is food. Um, it's not great quality. Um, you're only being charged uh like 2 copper pieces for this food. Um, and but yeah, you're able to order drinks, order food. There is empty tables like the man set upstairs. There's not very many people here. Um, you also don't know how many people are usually here, but there's only a few occupied tables at the moment. Um, but you all can probably drag tails. Nope, drag chairs from other tables to get enough to sit at yours.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around yanking other people's tails.
I mean, that's one way of getting tail.
I'll stand.
Also, I do my best to find a table that is has a good view of the entire tavern.
Um, a lot of the corner tables have been taken,
That
but
makes sense.
It's a rerun of the Monday group.
yep. You're in a bar full of criminals. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, you are able to find one. It's like next to like a stone pillar. And you can see just about all the tables in this room alongside the one door that leads back into somewhere that's currently closed and down into the bigger room that you noticed as you walked in.
And while I'm doing our order with the bartender, I would ask if there is any way that I could send a thanks to Poppy.
Yeah, the bartender nods. They don't seem to talk a lot. But they say, I can give you my word, or her your word.
Thanks. And also, if she'd like to join us, we would be honored to have her company.
He like looks up at you, and you get the sense they're like sizing you up, but end up nodding. Mm,
And I would slide a gold coin his way, and I'll walk away.
yeah, they look a little more incensed as you slide a gold coin across the bar. um, but yeah, you bring the drinks and food to the table you and your companions have made home at. It's pretty small. It's a good thing Haskell and Eli don't really like to sit. Um,
I'll just slouch because the
Listen.
ceiling is low down here.
Thick lizard tail doesn't do well in chairs.
Get wrecked.
Just sit on the chair sideways.
No.
Bow down before
Lean on the
the
backrest.
bow
Yeah,
down before the
flip it
far
right back.
superior prehensile tail.
If Haskell needs to sit, he basically like squats and then uses the tail to help support him like a tripod.
Yeah,
Like a
for real though.
kangaroo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it. Big ol' thick ol' lizard tail. Hell yeah.
Every time that Z needs to sit down at a chair, he needs to stand like 5 feet in front of the chair, turn sideways, open his wings, push the tail through the opening in the chair, sit down, push the wings behind the back of the chair. It's a process, guys.
Eli just like grabs a stool. Here you go. This might help.
You know, that would be a lot more efficient.
you won't have back support though.
It's like trying to use pens in space. Just use a pencil instead.
Spade? I'm not gonna ask.
Gira just nods.
Yeah.
He'll never understand most, but
He's about to open his mouth and say something and like looks at Yura, like, yeah, no, nod. Just nod along.
Smile away, boy. Smile away.
Smile away.
You're all becoming very receptive to my quirky figure of speech.
You get another nod.
Nod, nod, nod. Smile and nod.
Smile away, boys.
Smile away.
You just see Galeen be like, wait, what'd you say? Pretending like she wasn't hearing him.
Oh, you missed my quip. Shall I recite it once again?
It's okay. I'll catch it next time.
With your hands?
Probably.
Okay.
Poor Eli.
You guys just have a toddler. You brought a toddler to a bar full of criminals.
Hey, you can't bring infants into a bar. You're right. I am only probably sold at best.
Yeah, I mean, you guys sit down at the table. You are definitely getting glances as you talk. Eventually you see the the bartender, go into that door. You don't see much, even if you're paying attention. What's inside that room, but you see them go in. They're pocketing the gold coin and close it behind them. But yeah, I suppose the tavern full of criminals is your oyster.
Right, everyone, hands up! You're being brought in for breaking the law.
Activating autonomous combat mode. In a quiet tavern, suddenly you hear, "Oh God, did they just save? Oh God!"
The quick saving icon appears on everyone's periphery. It's like, oh no.
Hi, YouTube. This is how you get all of the gear in the tavern.
Geralt will be like, I'm not sure if you guys want to ask around. I'm not good with that kind of thing. But I can do it if you guys don't want to. It seems like these are going to be most likely the people we get access to for information.
Would you care for me to switch to orator mode?
I don't know what that means.
No, don't worry
speak
about.
word good.
No, I'll try and get it done. So I don't know if I'm the best one for speak for these types of folk, but I'll give it a shot. Right. It's like Z trying to
All of
take
our
on
options
a.
are pretty subpar.
Z's
I
just
mean,
like.
if you don't want to.
I mean, if you want to take care of it, I'm down for you to take care of it.
Oh, what am I taking care of?
Asking
Getting
around.
information about Baltagar Staunton's mansion. If anybody has any information on it.
Sure. What's the worst that can happen? Famous last words.
Nom flashbacks.
Sorry, I wanted to set us up for like a spicy interaction.
To the left. Like, oh God, the worst that could happen. Shall I lay it out for you?
um, cool. Is it just Galeen who's gonna
I'll go with
go
her, but
try and
I'm gonna be
find
just like support, in case she forgets any questions or I don't know. I'm there for
Mhm.
support, aka I'm gonna
Just
assist
in
her,
case.
assist her if I can.
Sounds good.
Cool. And as Galeen and Z, you two get up from the table, pushing your chairs out. I know, some of us are sleepy. So this might be a good spot to call it if we want to.
Yeah, I think it might be a
That
good.
sounds about right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good place to call it.
Sure.
Yeah, the two of you go to push out your chairs and stand up and make your way over to one of these tables with suspecting people. That's where we can end the session for tonight.
Hell yeah.
Whew.
Alright.
Fun
Alright.
session, everyone.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna call stream then, if that's alright with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Bye stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye bye.